what's the value for money act? What did them journal? Oh, buy and crack quancy, and crack one as you know here. Only such a phone in them grum, a can you have to go sales and be in crack one for value for money bend the woman say we at the check, while blank crack quancy, you see why you no 8 hours and sunny. Do you this a value for money be 1 hours we why don't you finish the Akufo-Addo year, you know? Na and Krakwan into them, and for increasing productivity between Accra and Kumasi, the two major cities. Yet you hear and Zani idea fata. Now you are not going sign value for money act. I was for Munti, or Mampanyan John Dramani Mahama, or to say Sam Crofona Numjina Soledema, a year to catch you in the Munti, the Omo Kambama, the Omo, because one Casa di Omocano, and Yanu yet. But I die. Connection kwa no di bu aban no ohunu de onye na nabma mu ni nyina ye se na mpibini no esuru nyina wo na ase tan cosmetic kwa asema obeka kire wo a ye yi wasan kwa no moye na wasuma yo de there's nothing happening and I don't know okoka kire teacher for say oba be ye affordable house na ye beto no ye de Ghana city na beto ye ya SARS kadano oka kire say woni former minister of Western House no say Collins Dauda AC in another way Hope City na way video ja Hope City wo eja Collins Dauda no afi na be affordable house in foforo as I dey be no wasan ye propra amambe ye be no wasan ye propra we are ye poto tisa connection no a mudabia na ma she project kakraka se na ma ye no ye be ne mu nsem nwona no yesere no what value for money actor yesere no ntwa so ontua teacher for kai ye beto ye nana no ma na do kuku NDC wo mu dan ontua teacher for kai wo mbesu wo mu dan obu wo anya ne priority ne so be ma ne dan so won tenemu won ne man tenemu ngu wo hia busua mu opeso wo hwe ni nuanom opeso wo hwe ne wo de ne ho abo afode ese wo no wantimi ansi dan kora wo de de njo no na busua saa wo hia na ne wo mu no ono wo sacrifice se ebi mamu biem fa ne sika ma no won fa kohwe ne nuanom anu ne hia no tia teacher for kai tia nurse for kai wo matena fi ache 14 months no o mu hia dia kotua ba bi o mu han dan ko mu nya be si dan ama dem 40 30 years 20 years bi watu aka and dan wo sha se abewie da ben wo mu na hene no wawie dan connection kwa oba wan fa hwiama o mtwa manifesto o mkokọ lunch no ke kosto a o man sign no sa manifesto o mse wo mo ba mo man fa manifesto ama o mkọ lunch o manifesto no ke kosto o man sign to kwa kosi hu wo ho enu o mtwa aso entu nim say Dr. Bawumia de share yen manifesto no mu say ye be affordable housing in partnership with private sector nanka ye grow sa sector na ma obi o pa affordable housing bi atimi anya bi no enu mu de mi ka no wa kwakoye I lanchematin document no de come o mu say ena ne betimi transform Ghana within 2 days na o di aban lanchematin ko de come no da na se no da transform Ghana ewe
abushwe de ma menchia na memo akọ ban fa on bra rand G report so ena ade na ne yenyan ne nyina ne se NDC aban wotu na mo bia amampanefo animdefo bebre no ana de wono no atum kire se kwan a NDC aban ase wachechire yense gu yachi a wo boye mu no si yankasemu a papa ye obeyi ye bone enra de ya ene babeda adwase His Excellency John Dramani Mahama ordinance akwhye apam biase na se nkrata biase a wokosensan bibi efe ne se value for money ne ya ade a eba behwe aboye sika ho ban se de be sika no bibi ade beye bia de be hunu se mfaso abaso de ama oman no enye se etem sika ne de akoye bibi ye wo ho anase bibia ehun hyede hia bia ne no ena nimnifo bia ba bonten ba be kire me se papa unim value for money ya ne Bank of Ghana aboka surusuru a NDC aban momo na mo kasa ema Bank of Ghana munim value for money a ejapade ahodo a His Excellency Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo ni MPP wo mo ye wie ye mpo ya ntimi an commission ye ja hokoye no oba ye no wasa jan ho ama no pro unim value for money a nka saglemi housing project a mo sha ase $200 million amokokwaji ye ne akan wirem ama mo ba ye ne nim se bia mbo mani kura ko ho na nka maka ko wie e de amahan ye ti ya ne se masa kwaji asase foforo de hwia a mo ba ye nti Mahama se onim value for money a kasansem a wo kane enkran kwan a wagya de ekoso ato ho no a wo kokko bubu afekire se de bia wo benya ho so de kakra de apodwe ne nti no basa na chese value for money be pa na wo kane ne empanifo na tutu bi de amana papa na kwasi chei a kane no na ye penny kwankyerɛ for the communications ano de man MPP amonyo ku wa hyase wonya daade a kyerɛkyerɛ no kyerɛ sɛ ono de wɔbɛbɔ obi kyerɛ kwadwo opon kroma ayɛ wɔn hyase a Bank of Ghana sika sɛyɛ ne ade no wɔn hyase biebie ni no na ɔno so ordinary nkyira ba am yenhu sɛ ampa ɔman Ghana yenyina yie kura ye gold wa ye won ya ton nyina ama sɛ de baabi aka kodu na no ɔden samegya mfi ɔne ne manfo yenya daagye na yentie me wadaroma like video yi share ne for adwenkyerɛ so bra yentie kwasi kyei
dikan ada yempanyifo no ase titu kodwo pon kroma ne Gideon ene mpanyifo ya ka ho a omo ba beti nkrofo ne to bedi ntroche no omo ba beti omo to ba yehu se ade no nya no kure ne kan na kanya asem ne ka ye den na NDC for ne kasa ma Bank of Ghana ye den omo prepare omo ba be sa press conference omo ka se 15.3 billion abra ade no so ye sense 44 billion eti no mejidi se ye be do mo asipa se abibia no betiti aso ede amaye na de akoye me de pra kese no eye se Bank of Ghana na nkasa nso aba be confirm se e kana omuti no eye de kwadwo oponkoma ede ba betu dwa no na weekend yi na metie joy ne ade na me se samegya mfi aye ne ti kokoko no ho ke kan se basa a che se medwunu wa na metia se won kasa no akofa kayaba e kai dodo na wo wakofa kayaba wankasa kwa ne yefro parliamenta na wonkofo de usie yefro mo se mu ya no amoze mu ntimi ma me ya no na woni pakro ya timi anya kokodu san betra TV so abeke kansem se na koje opo no mra debate na da nam se ni epe ade so ni de pa beka bi o ya pro bi na be debate na woni ene obe debate anya dia be fa so ati ase no kra no dia yakawi there's nothing to debate about ya tia se say e kanu makofa kanaba ay kanu 44 billion MPP for every so no e kanu say 9.4 billion and no kra no every 2022 after COVID no say about 60 no that about from about 13 and about from about 9.4 and no kra no wo ye ho demonstrations near the be to the extent say obo ya ko ka say Bank of Ghana governor say ma yem pam no ye nyina di no ne de kekanka afi de mu ba ya wo ba be ye a loss of almost 44 billion what more billion ye go dia ye di say and we fa ya mokoton de bete so be do 39 billion enti no sanya dia ye di go di kra go Dr. Baomi Adawoma ope go di go ho de ma ya aje sen ka sika no mu kwa ko fa fiyen fa and ye de aba bete so ati ase wa fa bi en ho MPP abanya ko pa Adawoma abepija gold no akodu 31 tons so ba ye no hwe so ma ya wase akotwadi akotwa 18 tons ya wuton yi nso a maye bana be cheche mute ya untime me cheche mu eto so bi ono disika ne koto gold bre ya samegya fi wakoto gold ya boka na menti bida Goldsmith bi we na mebuza na senti mu ya rings ne ade na mebuza se na oyi mutimi bokasa to mutimi ton ska kokko no se ensida oni papa na ye no no so abeye saa bedru omo generation ya ne bakra ye ensida kra se Goldsmith be ka se makoto gold this be a okoto abisinya no ya ka se de afrema ma no ba se okoto gold pa boka $240 million na wo wi a woni pako ya se abetrase ya sori akasakasa you know ejiri se Ghana mo me ani na ho na bibia e koso bia no bia mfa na ni ni akire anya bia no ka bia bebe bia no ya kasa me no bia no ina na bede ye betua nti ya nhwe ne ma ye ni na ho ye mu se ka o mu ba o mu di siesie no hu bia wo se wo hu se nkofo no wo me bobra pepe bia mfa ma wo ye dan ya no o betua enye easy so be ba 1 year na watimi aboka 44 billion e dey 2 years nti ye bo 44 yi this year na say next year ye bo another 44 and I say ye bo 30 kura no se me gidi say ade a emfa hotonye den emfa emre nti Ghana for asema nkofo na kofa bre no obi a ye se o man no aye yie o ye ho toye inflation kofom GDP dollar about 10 we say ni nyina achi no ene ye ka che se ne ya sen atimi atrans ya sen aboka 44 billion Ghana cedis eno no ye eka eda yeso a wo se etimi fiscal ne editua enti obi won che no ka bibia atro se nya sa na che omo be ye propaganda na ade a emo enti ase se case ne ye settled argument bia ne ho obia ni argument bia wo ba bia ye kwakoye na we argument be na ho kwakoye o koye ne say Bank of Ghana for Boana. Yeah, but say
what they sought to do, almost said that the technocrats, now some of the Bank of Ghana for buy, now for Makofa technocrats be a why knowledge, finance, but you can't really wash it away.
That's a Bank of Ghana for report number.
Oh, yes.
Bank of Ghana for Ababe Case Senate. It's a technocrat be no Babesano. Me idea how many say.
But also Bank of Ghana initially on one bow parliamentarians these are why no yes over from Tuama Bank of the Bank of Ghana crying my
the paper no echo man NDC for no so most of the Babe trouble and say 44 billion and I say 39 billion now why shall we be it won't be front to my home say be almost didn't name better to me now man for can was him it was a associate no cry no as a truth only be sasia we muka 15.9 billion 15.6 billion no one no nobody yet juma until sa na jono omodi beto it was midnight of that day and Saturday na say no omodi Friday no and omodi beto so cry no ni be say 1 hour and omo say atwe free so by that time na man for so print ni na wi a afi de omo tu atwi omo kan wo bibia enye but that day na me hwehwe ne say I say we free Bank of Ghana for na kasa no kasa rather than say we be free for no we mo ba be di o mo be kan wa say
for the Bank of Ghana first ko pia the akoba finance minister na alpha and also the gold board and also eti atitire de bubi di ma
what do you mean fama because wa ko ji kana mene e ka we nyina gold board ka o gold board ka we mu 240 million
ono so
ono so na this kind of man so ono so person the books dey clean and all guys onye person the books dey clean and ono watch na ho who said that Bank of Ghana for dey in buy na no pa no and ono be ka say make a profit of 9 billion what
yeah okay
ano pa na nyum no and Bank of Ghana for so dey krata no come majority for no
and atos forces so say nya be fitire
ero de come finance committee pe you know awoni NDC for communicators and be a press conference no of your pictures we ni yin so onye MP ba no jina obi ade so ye parliament it no ho ye dey and I say ade na wo say communicators NDC communicators and ebe press conference Bank of Ghana boka under normal circumstance no omu yes and krata we ya the come minister of finance na minister of finance no so ye dey minister of finance no so ade aba or they akoma or they ashum now they about parliament na parliament they did the home common ade but this is the first time am who say krata bi sa aba instead say they ko akoma minister of finance so ye dey akoma NDC communicators so omumra emra me propaganda but backfire anya djuma obi ehun say e ka no de e se o mabo na wo se o mu jitu ye twe kwan be fa so e ka no mu nya den embo bio ade wo mu ne se wo twe kwan mu fa so mu ye sika nso se no ade o hia bi ana se de how na abre o man no ana sika ni town sika ni krom obia se ye nto ade o mu to ne ma se ye nto ade ne ye nto because ya besi se sika ni na ana ye twa ho interest what I say you tell me interest and how do you expect say o man betimi akọ nanim let me ye di amaya you know ye nyina no ye maye ni na ho ye nhwe say NDC for no ne ma wo mututu no ne ma mo ye ba no si ahwe ne maye be do end of the year there
mate
ye pe be ni there
governor kuro ya eno wakoda wasaba
no ye deputy no ya kota ye de ne kotu na okay ko ina fio ya kota de
ajima bitio
on the Bank of Ghana issue there, I mean, you say anything to worry ourselves about. And NDC for communicators, any a common ya for the da more about could go upon Chroma, any Samijam fee meeting. Amasono. Let us be frank with them. What can I say? Maybe a year delayed Dr. Akutu say, or one of the stations I know, but I don't want to mention. Now, Kushia, the current minister for government communication, Felix Kwachufus, he walked out. Sorry. Okachum said, I'm a professor. I teach at the university. Mama me economics topic. Yeah, Babeka. Kofa Felix Kwachufus. What do you think he's coming to say before me?
I praise Ankwabonte.
I say a mismatch. Indeed, could you upon Chroma is the ranking member for the policy committee of parliament. What did they make? Say, or court set is na mo pobi amana. Mo pobi of a rank. Respect the parliament. What did they make? Ubia oba discuss policy. Ubia or insight into what we're going to talk about. Who is Sami Jemfi?
But I was a look at Kojo HRDT say on per se you best shift to focus. Na sika 7 na e wo hodom no. Ni indirect idea.
The Sami Jemfi cannot discuss the bone of contention of the issue.
It's one who say sika 7 na e wo hodom. I don't say e cab and say come by.
Issue be by a kofa no say oni Reverend in team for Joe. Look at how I don't want to use words. What did they mention? Gina ho kasati say arrogantly.
But Central Bank of Ghana Mabonte.
So Kojo Oponkoma and then anye say show na. That's fine. There's no point. Kojo Oponkoma is more matured, very learned. Everybody knows say he cannot match up when it comes to policy directions and Sami Jemfi comes nowhere near him. Double key. Me America kraka me mfamusa omampanyi. The essence pa the value for money in the value for money act na or no what's our pass. What is the value for money in the value for money act na or no wa sent it to? What is the value for money for that act?
Stricter oversight mechanisms because public sector
because omampanyi sa cosmetic adults ontwa so undefine the role of the National Procurement Authority in Chile. Undefine the role. What is the role of the Procurement Authority? What is the role of the Procurement Authority? In the Procurement Authority, one also of signing value for money act. Any young procurement authority, it's a way of finding the your friends say chief executive, for now procurement for in chain so that they can steal just that they are stealing. Because value for money act we so source na okay next year they are call act no more value for money. The Procurement Authority, National Procurement Authority, womo call mandate pa womo ye niema miensa fit for purposeness. It's ade na ye no e wo say ade property ye pese ye de ye no ye hu say enokure say de wo de ba no e betimi aye de to so biom ye value for money sika ye de kwa akowuro mu no. In fact, ade na ye kwa akoye no e fata se sika na de wuro mu de to so miensa ye transparency. Say pepe ye ebeba dumadie na ye die ni nyina mu enema miensa National Procurement Authority ye nyina ni ndi ko pass for sa value for money act na o de come Procurement Authority ana say o de ma ho o ye ne den say new act na o de ye den into man penny say aduma we ya o ye and there's no value for money in it that time now the science document ni nyina wa say Ghana sika dakwa time wasted mfaso obi eni so unu ya nko anye say aduma no na amodetena parliament ehye say abe we nyina you wasted this mfaso obi eni so you didn't give recognition to the same value for money you people are talking about. What did they mention? Go your procurement bia the fundamental thing is the value for money and fit for purposeness. Adie party say your procurement document ni nyina ye catch say kofa PPSD ni bra nyina no PPSD no enema mienu ni ye de hwe value for money and fit for purposeness. We are in the execution of the procurement process no we get transparency in the procurement process. That is all. Enti ade a wo the free ja no ma bre so bepem ne wo ba bedi aban o ti bibia no o de kosu sourcing o ti bibia na de kosu sourcing procurement authority ni wo e na de kosu sourcing we are be Ghana for any massive value for money man benyi nyeme bia wo ye bia wa hwa na me yakokan wo ase me ka say this value for money as no man benyi kan lie masa. So when I try will be in a car saying trying my hardest to be succinct, I find myself being obscured. We will go. If I should be and it's woman ya come on sign. Hey, at the end of the day, right to information bill. At the end of the day, I didn't present I sent it to it. Right to information. At the end, and your transparency. If somebody needs value for money, and you also call right to information. And I'm no catch us idea we me here on document me pese me hwe say the ade na we no there is value for money for it There are so many beautiful laws. That will table so you are not applying them. And our sourcing.
You go so better. I pepper name when it is institutions are a wagon. I am run the way Sicheno. Yamobiso, I say, Yadenatuma bra. Ocean law now. We don't need say if you read section 96(5)(a), the most dominant factor for a court to consider when granting bail is whether or not the person will reappear to stand trial. But it's not about the item missing, and I say it should be a whole. But the most important or the dominant factor, weighty factor for a court to consider is whether or not the person will reappear to stand trial. But who said court be or honey institutions be or honor nipa no kokra is here money bill. When the person is a well-known person, very famous, if you nipa or align itself, if any properties near there, that person will never run away, or a very responsible or family any idea. So it looks as if various institutions nene omo yani bine womu bibiti say Euroko. If you look at the Euroko boss, Ramon Asha, not just who said they are yani no it sins against the very particular constitution all of us are worshipping, and even various actors in our worshiping. If you the case in the case of Dana Bodakwi, Justice Atuguba said that we all are servants of the rules and we need to worship the rules. So rules mean we are all servants of the rules. But these are only challenges.
Hanan case no yene wa bonte yentiase say.
Actually,
the buffer stock.
The buffer stock case name follow to be candid with you. But the only last time I'm reading and say says almost ages were withdraw. And that was the
and when you new I prefer new charges against
that is the only thing I me share, but me go detail into the case and the merit of the case. But the prosecution has the legal right to even withdraw charges. I'll bet me file once the prosecution has not closed the case.
Okay.
Prosecution has a right to withdraw. Provided say ABR1, because even if the matter, the counsel on the other side and make application for the matter to be strike out to Krana, the police can re-arrest. And our prosecution bet me make application. And so obet mama police are re-arrested the accused person. If say Oma who new charges be or move some level against the accused person because pursuant to Article 88 in prosecution no power to do that. Into obet mama police hire then etimi asan be. So it's better say even if you want to level new charges against the accused person, you should not close your case. The prosecution shouldn't close the case. But prosecution should make sure say before he closes his case, no wait me I withdraw. But it is not when call witnesses, all witnesses, available witnesses, no be testify, cross-examination has been done. Now where we cross-examination, re-examination, now where we any prosecution are closing the case, then you come back and say that you are going to withdraw the charges and level new charges. That one is sins against the fundamental right of the accused person. So I think once the case has not been closed, the prosecution has every legal power to withdraw and level new charges against. I mean, me papa.
Oh, papa no.
Me papa.
Sir, and they won't introduce no me. Oh, papa, why na what your name?
Papa, Honorable Henry
Kwabena Kokofu,
the former MP Bantama. So, no, you see, I think EP.
Yeah.
In fact, on one saw me kakra training me as a minko.
Really?
I'm telling you. And I am my greatest mentor. Ono na me share no a me dey start say me so my law because also me nsa no.
O share lawyer Henry Kwabena Kokofu.
Ho na me dey sua law.
And I would sua law.
That is so.
Onna your mentor.
Samre no ofa me akwala samre obehwe ade bi wo me krom. So ho ana oso me nsa. Ese me pe wasem nti no de me kofie nyina. Nti menene kwaya ade ne wie ne da bia na ode me kofie obakuma se bia na mama fronika na one menam. Nti ono ane kura me nsa kakra sa no ka chem se osai wani ji adusua obatu betimi aye law. Na me so okay da wa kan na ye. Ampa na me de eto aso na me de koye. But I'm very fortunate say menene hia no pe odo me high court case but menem papa so abeshia menim say a coincidence and
you didn't know that he was coming here. If you have problem I decided to handle it too. Oh, I see.
And to a greatest mentor.
Mamen mount touch on we now because of so we are no penana. Menya maunko. This gentleman ni case you say or they say amisa on. You say call Kolebu 118 minutes ya attended to or no. And I work from me aquatic committee now say umu and also nkomo ni be punish near their day. When such incident happen Mrano say the family no meet my day.
Yeah. Baby I na meka negligence.
Yeah.
Nti negligence ya de bia obia wadwuma bia wo ye bia no e wo sa wo ya hwe yi. Nti for instance so bia ba waba hospital na wo ye lawyer kra na wo hwe a wo professional duty I was say discharge ema o patients or clients. Nti failure upon which no na breach be okay, the person will have a course of action against you, and that course of action also it has a reason. Because why a negligence, why I'm shiny penny year, then the person may have a course of action against you. And this will be yari awabano. The onus lies on professionals or more hospitals say omutimi attended to any panel. In the failure upon which no breach beer occur, then the person will have legal consequences against the hospital. But the point is that family, before you can take any action, no, once you are Ghana Medical and Dental Association, you cannot go straight. Say, wait me if it prekopena wako court. In fact, if indeed say medical negligence be okay, and failure on the part of professionals be a then you need to petition the Ghana Medical and Dental Association if there is a doctor involved. Into which Ghana Medical and Dental Association, you have to get their response first because you have internal mechanism. Into if be condition precedent. Into if the condition precedent in where meet here, so Ghana Medical and Dental Association now trauma. Now when you biana, then I was so decan also throw Attorney General because you need to give notice to the Attorney General. Why am Attorney General notice now you did not meet the condition precedent, and when it happens like that, your application will be thrown out of court. Ebasa ebeba to Intebasa Obama when you be free Ghana Medical and Dental Association no atro Attorney General no man notice 1 month notice say AG asem say ni na si hospital efa hospital ho na atome because we say institution a share abayase nti say wo tro Attorney General then Attorney General no ama umu aye dia then afi na wasiu hospital no through Attorney General and I say what the Attorney General account no wasiu aban then you claim damages in respect of any medical negligence that happened at the hospital. So first of all, you write to the Ghana Medical and Dental Association, failure upon which you also give notice to Attorney General, 1 month notice. Attorney General any failure, then it means that you've met all the condition precedent. Then you can now go to court and file a claim against Attorney General Kunde Hospital or the Ghana Health Service.
I see.
Now before before no, I want to touch on something small.
Yeah.
You see, elections here, internal elections here, there is a problem. TBB Watepa, TBB Wafija Kwabre, TBB Wakwabre East. What is happening now? The best company phone says, so man, look, vetting of all vetting oko Afija Kwabre South Nomania de Adenoma information yet I stand to be corrected. As information and say vetting cry it was very selective. And no ya there yim and ya maybe a vetting. Now after say vetting Korea no say nipa no obey 6 days I say ufi say wa rejecting now you have to give the person notice about and justify it reasons why the person has been rejected.
Of course.
We call it principle of what or the alteram partem rule, principle of what fair hearing. A very foundation of our 1992 Constitution, because if you read the preamble of the 1992 Constitution, it talks about say fundamental right. It talks about fairness and other things. And the hearing of vetting, one man notice reason why I was rejecting then notice of pull the stipulated time and was saying notice of pull no, but no man from the banana year Sunday went. Steering committee in an idea to just say every Wednesday, Bepem Saturday, I was so timid notice of pool deba. Omo the bar Sunday, what was the rationale behind it? Election cost a banadani ukuya dankwa. That means that the person cannot challenge adiebi or person or dinner or person okobia just because of obi parochial interest. Obi person on kwani DMP ncho nipa or select within every polling station bia so that at the end of the day say ni Panama. But you see You do that, and yes, sir, you make MPP ni lose more vote because that is not the wish of the people. Any pa person be MP because nye chinchina twa misika menya ntinipa we na mpesa da bia de ne and it has been happening in those constituencies.
And now see Bunkrugu ballot papers
and ebiso akọ obi wo hono ma polling station na nye hokra na oche ya fa ne free different area kra omna megina o polling station as a polling station executive. When it happens like that, and now people were calling me to go to court, but you see, you cannot go to court. The point is that you have to pass through internal mechanisms of the new patriotic party. Now, so far, your constitution, a casa found to be fast, your channel, we steering committee, regional, ebikra, and a constituency level, no regional, ebikra, Timiko drew neck before and send wet to court. And even if you want to go, also apply for a process interlocutory injunction crana, it has to be on notice because also notify me a political party issue. When you go even ex parte crana, you need to file a writ. Also file a writ and sign a writ and what attach it motion at the account. Obeden I would din 2 days when you are waiting here. But what they are doing, in fact, let me sound a word of caution to those who are behind all these things. Whether you are a secretary, whether you are chairman, whether your ambition is to make sure that Ashanti region in an obe capture nebia, any pebia timia baba beye MP for Amaudia, that is not what that people are calling for. Because we want His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia to win power, to restore power from the incumbency. So if your point is say, obeya dibia, udibe make sure say one kasa, or obeya dina ubejina natural say, what capture Ashanti region, it will not help you. And now say, constituency chairman for no, adibi omobeya tell mo de bois, ama omonko any petimi, ababeye MP no. Obi one man, and I can't trust Mr. Fokio. Them di chat talk and say, ni penny be honoma, MP for the baby born mohondem. A brand honorable. Chama Kokofuo as a member of parliament to be a hunijumedi na obo said no sikasa ohwe Gideon Boakon said no sikasa ohwe Ayirebi constituency John Jinapo ohwe Tafo MP ohwe Steka ohwe tesemi just to mention a few moment me amomudini na hame because kamekaya metima bobo bebre bo mo homodena wo say omo kasa sa 88 no but let me tell you some of them are not also good ebi mo wo ha mumu certain constituency bi wa yentimi nka because so can you beka chiro say wo party ne kura no ye di mikra ye di ka yi wafiri mu dada ana wo san beka ho asem but em wa yen enipa ne ye die ne na buru chire ne sika obenya nti na ye party yemfa enipa ebetimi agina wa boa party na ma party na timi agina eti ne duru ba bi NDC obi kura ye kwahwe akwakra no mode na obi ti se basantali otimi hye soja atare na ono moto di nanim na ode ko di entia they are doing that just to restore power from us, and they did that to also restore power from us. And the Yabaka said those constituency tepa, if you just Kwabre South, Kwabri East, they are happening other constituencies. I mean to me mention, you know, they should make sure say, maybe the domestic Justin Kodian said they should nullify everything be our moyo obiano. No more making sure say transparency because the principle of all the Otaram part-time rule must be respected for the betterment of all of us.